Hi, everyone. Peace and blessings. Welcome back to Religiously Nerdy. And we are with Watch with Neebs, who is part of the Salaam Nerds podcast. And we are going to talk about the New York Comic Con experience that Elizabeth had, and then talk about shows that we're watching this during this fall time or recent shows that we've watched. So please introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So I'm Neebs. I have a TikTok and Instagram account called Watch with Neebs. I talk about all things TV shows, whether it's reality TV or whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, House of Dragon, everything, and basically likes to, talk about things from a perspective of a multicultural background. So we also have a podcast called Salaam Nerds, which you guys got to be on, which was a fun episode.
Mhm.
And we basically talk about all our favorite shows. We recap our shows, but through the lens of people who are represented in the show. So if we're watching Black Adam, we want to make sure that we have people from the Middle East or North Africa. If we're watching Miss Marvel, we want to make sure we have South Asian representation. If you're watching She-Hulk, we want to make sure there's a lawyer there, right? It's like all of these things. So we want to make sure that like the people who are talking about these shows are also represented in terms of not just the show, but also in the commentary of the show.
Oh, that's
Great.
awesome. Yeah.
Mhm.
Also,
I've been
you do a
listening to
lot. You
your
put out a lot of episodes.
We
Like,
do, we do, we do
that's
about six
crazy.
episodes a week, and like
I
it all
know it's a
depends.
lot. Like
Yeah, it's a lot, but like we watch
I
a
think
lot of TV, so we
That's
have
the
a lot to talk
thing.
about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've been listening to some of them, not all, but some. And
Yes,
I
respect.
do enjoy that you bring a lawyer to the She-Hulk episodes. I enjoyed that. And also like people who have, for example, read the book for House of
Yes.
Dragon, like that having
Mhm.
that background is cool
Yeah,
also.
we bring in experts and
Good.
they know so
Mm,
much stuff about the House of Dragons. Like they
yeah,
probably were
good.
in there in a different life. They were probably from that time.
So now that the season one is over, I plan to read the book before season two because who knows how long you have to
two
wait for
years.
season
You gotta wait 2 years, man.
two.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Like that's too
At
long.
that point, there's no reason for you to not have read the book by
I
2 years.
know,
Exactly.
like,
Like
there's no
that
excuse at that point.
was
But honestly,
I
some people say it's more enjoyable when you haven't read the book because then you don't know what's coming. Like I
you know
didn't
what's gonna
know
happen.
what how that finale was gonna end. People knew. I was just like,
People knew.
what?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
shock.
was shocked
Yeah.
when the ending. I was shocked.
Oof. Oof.
But yeah, we could talk about that more later. So first off, Elizabeth, tell us about your experience at New York Comic Con. I know technically all of us were invited to Comic Con, but Toby and I already had a conflict, so then we made Elizabeth go.
Made her go. Oh
Where'd
no, she
go?
was forced to go to Comic Con. How sad.
Basically.
Ooh.
So yeah, tell us about what you had to do there. You were invited to be on a panel. Mhm.
So I, okay, y'all. I am, when it comes to cons, especially when we went to Anime NYC, when we first met last year,
Yep.
y'all know I'm not like a huge crowd person. It was
Mhm.
packed in there. And when I was there was a guy that was there that was like, there's so many people. But I only went on the Saturday. I was just enjoying myself
Mhm.
Mhm.
in New York, but I went for the day of the panel.
Mhm.
And there were so many people in there. It was so crowded. I would say it was more crowded than Anime NYC.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was a
Mhm.
lot of people in Anime NYC. So, but it
And
was
it's the
fun. I
same
enjoyed.
location. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same
it was the
Yeah.
same
location.
location. It was in Javits.
Mhm.
Um, it was amazing to see because it was a combination of everybody that was there. So I got to see amazing cosplay. There was someone cosplayed as Moon Knight Sailor Moon.
Oh my gosh.
That was
Yes.
really
Oh my
dope to
God.
see.
Sailor Moon Knight.
That was the trend this
Yes,
year. Sailor Moon
That's
it was
Knight.
pretty
great.
cool. And it was cool to see the
Mhm.
cosplays that were there being trending on Twitter. So I was like, yeah, I
Mhm.
saw you, I saw you go. And then waiting in line for the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood
Oh,
War. Oh my God, that was okay. It was wild because at one point everybody was sitting and waiting. And then Kiera Please just starts running down like
Mhm.
the side of the aisle, like getting people hype up, and everybody was like, "What's happening?" And then you see Kiera just screaming at people. So it was cool to experience. It was a wild ride.
Mhm.
It was there. It was shocking to say the least because there was just so much. It was sensory overload. But for me, going to a con is sensory overload. Um, but it was, I think, really special to me going to the panel and meeting people, meeting Sarah, um, the artist that made Squire, and meeting all the other people on the panel. It was meeting Korean Dreams, meeting Imshai. It was, I don't know, seeing the people in the room because I saw Muslims and I remember because there was this one particular group of Muslims and I walked by and I was like, "So and he just kept it moving." And this girl was like, "Oh my God, there's so many Muslims here." And I was like, "This is amazing. I must not have been the only Muslim you saw today." And realized, like when I got until I got into the room, that there was a lot of Muslims there, a lot of Muslims. And it kind of touched me because there was a room full of people. Like it was like a double-decker room, kind of spread out. There was a lot of people in the room. Um, and my awkward self had to talk to all those people in the room. And as more people kept coming in, I was like, "Oh my God, this is getting stressful." But it was nice to see a familiar face. It was nice to see Neebs when he came in. So I was like,
He
"Oh
was
my
in the
God."
audience, right? The
Yeah.
audience? Okay, yeah.
And Elizabeth's being modest. She killed it at that panel. She
Oh,
was
I wish
so
I
good.
saw this.
And then like I was trying to talk to her afterwards, and there were people hounding her. She had like groupies. Everybody was trying to
Oh,
talk to her.
wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all know the people, but it was Otaku Noir was there.
Oh, I think you've met them in the past, right?
They have
I
they
think
have
Bridges Con or something.
they
I
have a
don't know.
box. They have one of
Yes.
those specialty
Mhm.
boxes and three weebs in a podcast. Two of the three weebs in a podcast was there.
That's
So,
awesome.
and then someone from this group chat, someone from Birdie Otome's Discord channel was there.
See, because yeah, you're also popular on that channel too. So
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh my God,
She was a
all
star.
these people that want to talk to me."
Nice,
And there was people
nice.
from Instagram that I saw too. So I was like, "Oh my gosh,
yes, they're there for you.
there are famous people here that know who I am."
So was it just
Great.
like a Q&A with, I guess, Muslim nerd-ish creators?
Yeah, it was really a Q&A. People got to talk about what they were doing with their creative projects and their processes, how they got to where they are, and how they feel that what they're doing helps the community or inspires the community. So it was good to see feedback on that, especially when it came to like writing. Like I can't remember her name, and I feel horrible because I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she was talking about writing her romance novels because
Yeah, I remember.
she was talking about like the casual romance novels, and then like in my brain I was thinking like smut because I was
Of
like,
course.
"What's happening?"
Was it
But,
Muslim
like,
smut
you-
at least?
Right, it was like halal smut. So I was like,
Halal.
okay. So I was like,
Halal.
okay, but she's writing. I was like, there's a medium out there for everybody. And I was like, obviously she's killing it because she was talking about how people knew who she was. And so I was like, you know what? This is great. I'm glad I get to be with these people, meet with these people. And Kareem Dreams, God bless him, does such good cosplay. He's such a
Yes.
pure soul.
Yes. I saw him at San Diego Comic-Con at their version of the panel. So that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody there was cool people. Everybody there was cool people. It was nice to meet everybody. It was nice to be a part of it because honestly, I was like, where do I fit in? And I said to Neebs, I was like, I'm surprised you're not here, Mr. Like, what is
Right.
it, 50K on TikTok? So more than that,
Majority of my fan base is 40-year-old white women. So people are surprised that like brown people even know me. Because when I cover The Bachelor, there's not a lot of brown people watching me cover The Bachelor.
Oh gosh. It's
Right.
all right. That's okay.
No, it was cool though. I really enjoyed that panel. It was really cool to see. And she's right. There were so many Muslims there. When I turned around, I was like, "Whoa, where did they come from?" They were just like all of a sudden, a bunch of them just showed up, and it was really cool. And my friend Kareem was there, who I met that day for the first time in line. And he was like, "Oh, that's where I'm going." I was like, "Oh, I gotta go to this because I want to get it." Like, I usually do like a end of day TikTok where I show like everything that happened that day, and I wanted to make sure I get this in there. But yeah, it was a nice surprise to see, and I was really happy. And the panel went really well. I stayed for the whole thing, and it was exciting. But Comic Con, it was probably one of the best Comic Cons I have. I got to meet Michael J. Fox, which was a dream
Whoa.
of mine. A dream.
I
of
heard.
mine.
I listened to that podcast.
Oh,
he did
wow.
about-
Yeah,
Jack Black
so
showed
happy.
up.
yeah. Jack Black showed up.
The
Yeah,
Mario
we got to see
trailer,
him.
right? That's
Okay, the
Yeah.
Mario. I'm
amazing.
excited about that movie. I'm
Yeah, so I
excited.
didn't get into the Muslim panel, but I did pull my influencer card and get front row like seats to the Mario panel. So at least I got something. At least I got something.
That's great.
Yeah, no,
Like
it was
all of
really,
us,
really
we're
cool.
getting a little bit, more like up there with our popularity and like in
Yeah,
online
there's
and
a
then like the
saying.
things we do, like
Yeah, there's a saying that me and
which
Jazz
is
has like,
cool.
if you build it, they will come. Like all you got to do is build it, put out content, and then all the opportunities will just come to you.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And right now, I have to say this as a disclaimer. I feel horrible. I have been in a rut writing wise,
Mm.
but I have not been in a rut buying manga wise. So I have the manga to write about. I just have not written about anything. So the
That's
blog
a
is at a
start.
standstill.
That's a start. Yep.
The start.
All right.
That's on me.
Yeah, glad you guys have a great time, and I hope we in the future also see you like continuously like go to conventions and meet up.
We should
It's like how
all
it
go
should
there
be.
one year and do like a live like joint podcast.
Oh, that would be
That would
amazing.
That'll be dope. That'll be
That'd
dope.
be
That'd be
wild.
awesome.
Goal of mine is to be in a panel, have our podcast.
That'll be cool.
Yes. Great.
Awesome. So, do we want to go into the show discussion or the anime discussion first?
Mhm.
I guess since we already like had that on track, we could do that.
Let's do the
So
anime.
I guess we could also. Okay, Jazz can join in now. I guess.
Let's introduce Jazz.
Hey,
He's on-
Jazz, thanks for coming.
He came on brown people time.
Alright.
But like, it's not even that bad. He said 30 minutes and he came in, so like, at least that was
Yeah.
correct.
That is
Not
true.
the-
That is true. That
He
is
came
true.
late, yes, but the expectation was correct.
No, I was at a voting site because the ACLU asked me to be there. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Jazz out here doing real work.
Ready to vote, people. If you
Go
can
out and vote.
Yep.
Yeah. We got
Alright,
some real
cool.
assholes down here, so I had to put on my legal observer jacket and scare them.
Well, you are from Texas, so I expect nothing less.
Oh yeah, these people were from out of town. I was like, where are y'all even from?
Like, why are they inserting themselves? Okay, anyway, that's another
That's a whole different
discussion
topic
for another
right?
time. So great. If you could also introduce yourself, Jazz. We already mentioned like Salaam Nerds, but if you can introduce yourself too, and then
Cool. I'm Jazz. Full name is Muhammad Usman Jazz. I am co-host of Salaam Nerds, but in my actual life, I run a laboratory and I work with the ACLU. So
wow,
Great.
awesome. So now all of us, we can talk about so we're going to talk about fall anime, but also we wanted to talk about the shows in general that we're watching because Neebz doesn't watch a lot of anime, but I know you watch a lot of anime, Jazz. So
Yes, I do.
I guess we should we start with the anime or the shows? What do you guys think?
I think we should start with the anime personally.
I
Let's go.
agree.
Let's go. I'll have nothing important to say, but I'll chime in with some dumb comments.
No
Great.
problem.
And you should watch Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
I heard
Yes.
about Chainsaw Man. A lot of people were cosplaying as Chainsaw Man at
Mhm.
Comic-Con, and I was
Yes,
like,
they
"What is
were.
this?"
Yes.
We should talk about Chainsaw Man first.
Okay, there you go. Good segue. So this season of fall anime, there's so much like going on. They're all good. So Chainsaw Man, that show. So that was a really popular manga. So the hype was already there, and
Yeah.
you've been
The
hearing about
hype
this show
was
for. I think
there.
I've heard of it like
For more than a
ago.
year. More than a year ago.
It has been quite a while since I started talking about
It's a
it.
long.
I was
And it's
scared
fucking here.
because of the hype. Because every time on all the anime pages that I follow on Twitter, anytime they would post about any other anime, any other manga that was coming out or had something happening, they would be like mid, post about Chainsaw Man, post about Chainsaw Man. And I was like, if this show ends up being trash, if the animation is trash, if the story is trash, if
It'll
the
be-
characters are, I'm gonna roast y'all for this because y'all came for every single show that was on there. And I watched the first 2 episodes, and I'll do anything for Denji at this point.
Yes.
I'll throw hands for Denji. I want him pure happiness
I
and
want him to
love.
have bread.
Is he the
and
Chainsaw
jam.
Man?
He is the Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
Denji and
Want him to
Satan.
have good food.
I want him to have the
Would
best
eat.
food.
I guess we should give a brief description so
Yeah.
that our listeners and Neebs would know
So
about
with
what we're talking about.
Chainsaw Man, this kid, Denji, his father died and he had a lot of debt to the Yakuza. And they told him basically, you have to pay off your father's debt or you're going to die. So he ended up teaming up, befriending really a devil that was basically a
Okay.
chainsaw
Devil
puppet.
is not the right word for Pochita, okay? Like
Yes,
A pet devil dog thing.
devil. Okay.
devil, quote devil. But it's a really cute dog with a chainsaw head, and
Chainsaw head.
How old was he
it
when he
is.
How old was he when he made this pack?
Is that?
He was,
He was a
young.
teenager. Like he was like
He's a
maybe
teen-
13.
And he's still a teenager too. So I don't know why he's called man, but
So
continue.
he's
I
a
mean-
Chainsaw Boy,
Chainsaw.
Teenage Mutant Chainsaw Boy. Like, I don't know.
Yes. But he ends up becoming a devil hunter. Devil hunter? I feel like I'm saying the word wrong.
Mhm, mhm.
It's Devil Hunter is correct, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
devil hunter. And that's basically how he's been paying off his debt to the Yakuza outside of selling body organs. Like, for the ones that are mentioned, his kidney, his eye, a testicle,
Mhm,
for the
mhm.
ones that I want to say right.
His
But
face.
and
Other
this is just the
organs
first-
too.
Yeah, organs. And then he ends up, the Yakuza end up making a pact with another devil to make more money, and they end up basically selling their souls to a giant zombie monster devil thing, and
They all died, and
they all died.
like, it was the dumbest shit ever. It was like, hey, work with me to make money. It's like, okay, you can have my power, and by having my power, you're dead.
And then they tear my boy Denji apart.
Oh no.
All right,
you kill him.
Literally.
They literally tear him apart, and his blood, because devils can heal by drinking blood. So his blood ended up infusing with the little chainsaw puppy's blood, and the chainsaw. It's gonna sound real wild saying it while I'm saying it out loud.
Yes, there was a dismembered corpse in a garbage bin, and the blood from this corpse went into the mouth of the dismembered chainsaw puppy. The puppy healed from the blood,
Yes.
and the little puppy was like, "Hey, I love you." Here's
Because
what's
they
gonna
made
happen.
a pact earlier on, and that was basically they made a promise that if he died, he let like the devil should take his body and like live on as him through him or something.
Yes.
So then that happened, and then so that happened.
Now
But
they're
the
one
twist
thing.
was
But-
the devil was like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you're gonna live your life. You're gonna show me
Yes.
all your dreams."
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
What a nice little shaitan, just giving.
Yeah,
out, like-
Right?
That's why
That's
it's a
what
devil in
Shaitan.
quotes. Like he's a really good puppy.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he didn't take over his mind or anything. Like they're still like, like you just basically have his powers basically, but like
Mhm.
that's basically it.
And
He
he's
still has his own
still
mind.
technically alive inside him.
Yes.
Yes.
That he's just watching from
Metaphorically,
within.
Mhm.
literally.
And now he can turn into a chainsaw man. So
Yeah. He has
Wait,
chainsaws
he
for
turns
hands and a face.
Wait, he turned into that, or he's always looking like that?
So
He can turn into
turns
it.
into
turn into
Oh.
He has like
He has- yeah.
how do I describe that?
the thing that turns on the
He has the
chainsaw.
little
Yeah,
thing.
you know that
you
little string
pull.
that you use to like
The
turn a
string that
lawnmower?
you
Like
use.
Oh, you mean the
yeah,
Yeah,
that thing, right?
yeah.
So he has one in his chest, and he pulls that
Yeah.
string and turns into a chainsaw.
Yes.
Got it. That's pretty clever, actually. That's cool.
Yeah. Enemy be
Yeah.
weird, and that's one of the things that we get. And we love it.
That's how we have Chainsaw Man.
And the
Yep.
other character too, like, because he continues working as a devil hunter, but with this group of like this is like the one of the organizations for that. And
This is the government at this point, but yes.
Yeah.
yes.
And you meet
But
some
what's
more
the-
characters along the way who also hunt devils. And yeah.
So that's what we got so far. I think there's 3 episodes so far.
That's it. Oh,
No,
I can catch up.
episode 3 comes
Only
out tomorrow.
2. As of
Literally
today,
only
that's
2, yeah.
probably
So yeah.
I can
Yeah, so
catch up.
Neebs, you should watch a show about this
you should
devil.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
just
should
to
get it
Chainsaw
because it
puppy
just started.
thing.
I'm
Mhm.
in. I'm in. I just gotta read 2 Nuffles afterwards because I'm not trying to support no devil. Like, so let's do it.
Great.
All right.
10 out of 10.
So
But yes, episode 3 comes out tomorrow. I can't wait.
yes, Tuesdays.
It's on
Yes.
Tuesdays.
All
Can't
right.
wait because I've read some of the manga, so like I can't wait for some of this to be animated.
Yes.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
All right, cool. We all loving that so far. So another anime that we're watching, or at least me and Toby are watching, is Blue Lock, which is I guess an anime about all these basically Japan, they're not that good at soccer.
Soccer.
So they wanna like
That tracks.
make a better they want to like improve the soccer team and they want them to win the World Cup. So they gather like all the best like strikers. So like center forward. If you played soccer, you would, I guess, that's like the main, I guess, goal scorer. So they gather like
Okay.
300 of these all over Japan, like I guess the best 300 players, and they take them to like a camp basically, and they have to like and they're like locked away from society or in some way, and they basically just have to prove themselves that they're really good. It's also like another competition, and like whoever is last standing, I guess would move
The
on
last
to like,
team standing.
to
I guess I would say.
the basically to so sports anime, another sports anime, and anime, there's a lot of good sports anime out there, so that's another big thing that people are into. And so yeah, me and Toby are enjoying this too. I think there's 3 episodes so far.
I think 3 episodes so far.
So yeah, it's
and
very
we love
good.
it because we're former soccer players ourselves, so we understand the rules.
So we know
we actually know what's going on.
Know what's going on, and
Yeah.
we know that's like it's pretty intense too. They're saying like if you lose, like you can never play for like a Japan team again after this or something, and that's like intense.
Like,
so
yeah, that's.
and they're all like
see-
teens. They're all teens.
I saw a quote about Blue Lock that said they really are centering the I in the sport because
Yes.
it's very individualized how they
Yes.
have it set up. And someone said, "There's no I in team, but there certainly is me." And they said that's
Yes.
basically the quote for the main character.
Yes. So that's
That's
the interesting thing is because they're again, everyone thinks about teamwork when they're playing with the sport, but they're literally like flipping on its head. And I like agree with this philosophy like so far. Like you're the striker. You are the one like who needs to like you need to be selfish and do your thing, and that's how you win, right? Because
Yeah,
they have to
exactly.
score the goals, and that's like basically so they're focusing on them basically, and then they have
something
to win.
similar. Something similar was on Ted Lasso. They had the same storyline where it's like,
Oh, wow.
really?
Yeah,
Pretty
isn't
much,
that
yep.
also about soccer?
they're like,
Yeah.
you need to be selfish. There are times where you need to be selfish and be the person you're supposed to be. And like,
Exactly.
sounds pretty similar. That's cool. I didn't know there was so much about sports and anime. That's cool.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
so
sports
many
anime goes
sports-
back to like
sports
the
anime is
90s.
a whole
Really?
big thing. It's
The
a
whole genre in itself. Sports anime.
Wow. That's
Yes.
wow.
Exactly.
So yeah, very during that very much. Also that also had a lot of hype, like similar to Chainsaw Man. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
that had a lot of hype too. So a lot of people
Because
were
the manga is very popular as well.
Yeah.
So we were like expecting great things, and it's great so far. I love the animation, everything.
Nice.
What was that one sports anime on Cartoon Network where it was like tennis?
Ace of Tennis? Prince
could
of
be.
Tennis?
I cannot remember.
The
Like, I
anime-
know there was
Anime?
one.
Is it an anime?
Yeah, it was an anime.
yeah. I
It was
think
definitely
it's Prince of
Toonami.
Tennis.
And it was
I
definitely
think-
tennis. Definitely
Prince of
anime.
Tennis.
Probably Prince of Tennis. I never watched it though.
Yeah, I never watched it either. But that's the thing. Like, this has been around for like decades.
Yeah,
Sports animes are a thing.
it's the thing.
And they're like very good too. It's I don't know. It's just something about teamwork.
They put an absurd amount of detail into them.
and
Some animes are
competition.
all- some sports anime is all about the teamwork. Some aren't. So like, this is not about the teamwork.
This one is not. Mm-mm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
I want to really talk about Spy Family.
Thank you.
Yes,
I was wondering when
let's
you
go.
bring it up.
let's go. Let's go.
Spy Family's return.
Season 2.
Steph's Kiss.
Came off
So-
with a bang. Started off with
Yeah.
literally. Sorry.
So Neeb's Spy Family there's a spy. His name is Twilight. He has to go by an alias to maintain peace between the East and the West for these two countries. And so his
One of them is literally called West. It's really funny.
West Alice is one of them. The other
West
one
Alice
is
and I can't remember the name of the other one.
Ostania.
Astania, yes. So his current mission is to create a family to get into this prestigious school to have his child get certain amount of these stars so he can reach rank to get up to
What is it
this
called?
guy who's basically head in charge of oh my god, Ostania? Is it Ostania? Or is it Ostalis? I can't remember. But this guy is very important.
Yes.
And he has to basically get in contact with this guy because there's no other way to get in contact with him. And it is very much proven difficult. But the crazy thing about it is the child that he picks up from the orphanage has telekinesis powers, so she can read minds. And the wife he ends up finding is an assassin. So
and no one knows
anything about each other.
except
What?
for the kid.
That's the
The
wild
kid.
part. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like Mr. and Mrs.
Right.
Smith, but like with
It's
the
Mr. and
kids.
Mrs. Smith. There's so many plays about this. It's Mr. and Mrs.
Yes.
Smith.
Mhm.
But nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything about each other. And
Except for the
it's
kid, because she
wild.
can tell them, they can read their minds. But
Yeah, except for Anya. Anya is the little girl. Anya is basically the queen of the show. But then you have Thor, who's also the queen of the show. It just depends on what you feel like that day, honestly. But they just in the new season, the best part of the show is they get Bond, which is the
A
dog.
puppy.
And the dog was part of the special project that these terrorists were using. Yes, terrorists. These terrorists were using because they wanted to start a war, and they were going to send a bunch of bombed dogs to their governor and start a war between the West and.
Can a bunch of brown people be using these words, man? I'm like a scared right now.
I'm just telling the story.
FBI guy, if
And-
you're listening, this is the TV show.
This is an anime. This is an anime. We do not condone this behavior. And so Bond the dog ends up saving Anya because Anya sees the dog, wants a dog, because they actually leave to go buy a dog. Anya sees the dog. She chases the dog. She finds out all the secret stuff. They want to kill her. All the foolishness, all the hijinks ensue. She gets to keep Bond, but Bond can see the future.
Yeah, that's the big thing. So they were working together to like find the bomb, right? Like make sure like the family's good and stuff.
I'm so excited for
So
what's to
everything-
come.
And that's just the second part of the season because there was a previous season in the spring, so they returned in the fall. So this is the fall part.
But the manga is really good. I definitely, if you like, it's a lot. It's like the anime has a lot of like slice of life elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very different, but it's different from the manga because the manga is pretty straightforward with the story. But because like the way mangas and animes overlap or they don't have time, they kind of make the slice of life fillers. They're cute though. It's not
They're
like
good.
random. So I definitely recommend if you haven't watched Spy Family to watch Spy Family because it just really relates to me. You're just learning how to cook. I'm learning how to cook. We're sisters in arms.
Wait, how many seasons is it?
Just started this spring, so it's only like 16 episodes now.
Yeah,
They had their
still
first
technically
season in
one
the
season.
spring, so it's like it's still season 1. Okay, so they had like a break, but then came back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It's very nice, very wholesome, and it's just funny, and then there's action sometimes.
Yeah.
And just like family, like being a dad, like you see being a dad, and then how to be a mom, and this
A fake dad, but still.
Sorry, he's not fake,
Fake
really.
family, but
He's not
You
really
can
fake at this point.
see like Agent Twilight slowly becoming like this family guy, even though he doesn't want to be. Like, especially in recent episodes, you can definitely tell he's more like, you are my daughter, you are my wife. In the eyes that he's giving, the stern talks, it's giving what it needs to give. I'm very pleased.
I like that. Sounds good. Sounds
recommend.
It's actually a beautifully done anime.
Very
I would actually recommend this one for you too. Actually, no. I need you to watch one of the bad ones first to appreciate this one.
Like, watch Chainsaw Man first, then you can watch.
Okay, Chainsaw Man isn't bad though. Like,
Not bad.
You need
but,
to
like,
watch a bad anime to be able to be like, this is a good anime.
we gotta
okay.
get them started with something simple. What was that one where the orphanage kids and there were like 5 sections of this place and they were just harvesting kids to eat them?
Promise Neverland?
Promise
Yeah,
Neverland?
that one. Let's give them that one to start with.
Watch
Okay, but-
Promise Neverland. Season 1 is great.
Season 1 is good. Season 2 is bad.
So
Yes, so he
Yeah,
will
but
appreciate
watch
what
that.
a good anime is.
Watch that.
I'd rather just watch all the good ones. I don't need
Season
to
1 is
appreciate
superb.
bad TV.
Like
I've seen enough.
fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen other bad TV. I'll be fine.
Or not even bad, like mediocre. Like what are like mediocre anime? I'm trying to think.
Those are animes you forget, so we don't remember.
I know. I'm
And
trying
it's
to
like so hard when you put us on the spot. Like, what are you talking
like,
about?
what is mediocre? Like it's not necessarily bad, but not the best. I'm trying to think of one, and I
Dragon
can't.
Ball GT.
Okay.
Then
I can't
Alright.
think of one at the moment. Because like I only watch
I guess
in my
Dragon Ball
mind all of
GT,
the
you
ones
don't
that
really
watched
hear.
are good.
Like Dragon Ball GT isn't bad. It's just not canon anymore. But it was like, just
I
an
get
anime
it.
at the time.
I get it.
Yeah, you just watch it and then you're just like, all right, cool, Dragon Ball.
I get it. I get it.
It's a
I
part
never
of.
watched Dragon Ball to know how it is, so
I watched Dragon Ball a little bit when I was younger,
Mhm.
but it was Dragon Ball Z, and I stopped watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
My
me
uncle
too.
kept watching.
That's why Dragon Ball GT, it's like the worst of it all.
Mm.
And then they had to go back and be like, yeah, this never happened.
Really?
That sucks.
'Cause I
They
do
did
want to
retcon
watch
it
Dragon Ball.
completely.
I do want to watch it. I heard it's.
I
so many
remember
good-
when it was on TV too. I just didn't watch it, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, nobody watched it.
Exactly. Like I knew of it,
I never watched it.
What is another thing you're watching, Jazz? Maybe you're watching it too.
Mhm.
Right now, really, Spy Family, Chainsaw Man. I mean, the ones we talked about are the ones I am watching now. I just haven't had time to watch anything else.
And that's all right.
Yeah,
Are you watching My Hero Academia?
I am not. I have not started that one. Not even like the first season.
Okay, cool.
So, we're not going to
So-
talk about it then. Do
No,
not want
y'all can talk about
No,
it.
you're
but I'm
gonna.
gonna-
Okay,
I don't think I'm ever gonna watch it. I think it's gonna be one of the shows that just like passes
He's
me
not
by.
gonna
and that's
watch.
okay.
Yeah,
'Cause-
like Bleach. I've never watched Bleach. I've never watched My Hero Academia. Like there are a few others that are like really high up there that I've never watched and won't have time for.
I
And
want to
that's
see My Hero Academia. How is that? Because I see a lot of memes about it.
It's great. I recommend.
I
It's
recommend it
long
for you
now.
too.
It is long now. It's like 100 something episodes now.
Right, yeah, like it's too far in.
So it'll take a while to catch up if you start
But it's
now.
not, there are longer anime out there though. That's the
But
thing.
there are
Like
longer anime.
100 episodes is not terribly long.
It is
100
nothing, you're right. I
episodes
watched
is
One
nothing.
Piece, but like
Yes.
but I also started watching that when I was 14, when I had time.
That's
I
like-
am now an adult with responsibilities.
I
can't
feel
just...
like with One Piece though, because I remember, this is gonna sound bad. I remember when One Piece came out.
Me
too.
When
On-
One Piece came out, there was like the Shonen Jump magazines. You were keeping track. You were paying attention to everything. You were making sure you had exactly how to follow where. You had the maps. And then when the anime was out on 4Kids.
Yep, that's how I watched. That's how I knew about One Piece. It's from 4Kids.
You were actively watching Sanji and his then lollipop, not a cigarette. Watching.
Yep.
And you were paying
Classic One
attention.
Piece.
You were avidly there. Like it was there. Those people stayed committed to it. So they haven't missed an episode. So I feel bad
I feel bad too. I wish
for the people
I
starting.
wish I was them. Because like I knew when it started. But again, I was a
but
kid. I didn't know
think we
better.
stopped
Something
watching
stopped.
One Piece when 4Kids went away.
Like if it went away, it went away, you
Mhm.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wish, but I feel like it's too late for me.
I started the manga and I continue to read it, and well, eventually I'll catch up because I know I'm faster at reading and watching. So maybe,
Yeah, that's true.
maybe I'll.
That is true. That's how I feel about Bleach. I feel like if I just start reading Bleach, I'll get back into it because I was paying attention to Bleach when it first came off, and then I fell off, and then I forgot everything. So when 1,000-Year Blood War came back, I was like, these are familiar.
I need to, yeah, exactly.
But it's not clicking for me yet. And then this was the downside. But this is always happens in nerd culture. So when I was waiting in line for 1,000-Year Blood War showing, I had my Ichigo shirt on, here. And this guy comes up to me. I don't know why. This man comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, are you watching Bleach?" And my brain, because I'm quick at the mouth for some reason, was like, "No. What do you think?" No. But then I was like, "Yes, I am here for Bleach." He was like, "Oh, are you all caught up? Do you know this, that, and
Why
the other?"
did he?
It's
Why
been
did
a while. But I remember what I remember. He was like, "Oh, are you talking about, like, do you not remember the thing with Aizen, or do you not remember this?"
Why is he asking you these questions?
And I was like,
yes, I don't remember any of it.
it wasn't even that. I could have easily been like, I don't remember anything, but I was like, but why are you coming at me like that?
Yeah, like why is he targeting you?
Why are you targeting me right now? I'm just in line. Is it because
does he like want you to like not deserve being lying or something? Like is he trying to like
don't know.
He's the line monitor.
I deserve to be in front of you because I know more about this anime.
like are you serious?
Answer these 3 riddles and you shall pass.
And then like it's not even like hard to watch. You could just watch it online the same day. What?
Name 3 songs.
Because that kind of thing is only stuff that I've seen people talk about on the internet.
But it hasn't happened
It
until
actually happened to me.
It has happened to you now. Yep.
And I was
not
like,
fake. It's real stuff.
why are you here doing this?
That sucks. That's just annoying.
Bleach, I was really excited for Bleach. I want to continue to rewatch/reread Bleach. I want to collect Bleach.
Yeah.
I want to drink Bleach. No, I'm joking.
That was funny.
But I think it's one of those shows that I'm glad it's getting a final.
It's finally finished. Yeah. So the deal with Bleach is that it ended like 10 years ago, the anime, and there's been 10 years of like what's gonna happen with Bleach because the story continues. Just hasn't been an anime out until now. So now is a whole big thing because of that. So they
And I definitely want to watch it, but I want to watch it like I want to finish the anime and then get to it. I want to do it the proper way. I don't want to like skip around because again too, I like read Bleach, but it was a long time ago, so it's like again, I need to remember everything,
Yeah.
you know.
Because I actually did read all of Bleach, all like 74 volumes of Bleach.
Oh,
I don't
God.
remember every single thing, so I want to started the anime for the first time earlier this year, and now catching up. I
They
can
should call it. They should call it Leaders of Bleach. I think that'll be funnier.
Oh my
Instead of
God.
volume.
Oh yeah, that's something I will definitely watch when I catch up with the anime. But
Yes.
we'll see.
Mhm.
Oh, y'all have backgrounds. I just realized I need to go find a background.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So
there's an anime that I just started watching. We had a guest, Charles from Beneath the Tangles, previously on our previous podcast, and they've been posting screenshots from this anime called More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. And so I was like,
What?
okay, I'm gonna explain. So I was intrigued because the screenshots, they were beautiful, the colors were vibrant, the art style was gorgeous. I loved everything about it. I had no idea what I was going into, but I just knew it was romance. And I don't know if it's shoujo or not. So I don't know if it's specifically for like women or not. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not josei either, but it's these high schoolers, and in order to graduate, they have to pass their marriage class. It's like those marriage assignments
What?
where they have to, yes. So they have to, they have to, they get paired up with other classmates, and they live in these dorms, these practical dorms, and they have to live out a married lifestyle. They have their own room, and the rooms are thumbprint activated, so they can only go in if they have their thumbprints on it. Of course, so naturally, my brain was like, all they have to do is open their door and just be like, hey, come on in, which is what they've been doing. But like this guy has a crush on his childhood friend, and there's this, I don't know how to explain gal girls that they're called, but she basically wears like skimpy clothing, blah blah blah.
Oh,
And
naturally.
so yeah, oh snap! I love the Jolene Cujo, by the way. But he ends up getting paired with the gal girl, and they both knock heads the entire time. They get Fs, but then they realize if they both reach A status, they will graduate. But also, if they reach A status and another couple that they want to switch with reaches A status, they can switch married couples. So the guy who has a crush on his childhood friend is married, quote unquote, to the guy that the gal girl has a crush on. So they're trying to switch with each other, and they keep missing each other. But the catch is the guy and the gal girl are falling for each other.
It's too much going on.
It's so much going on. It's
So much
so
going on.
crazy. But it's pulling at my heartstrings because it's like, oh my gosh, it's so romantic. Like she cooks for him. They do this romantic foolishness. It's so cute, and the colors are so bright. I'm just enthralled. I'm like a cat with a laser. I wouldn't recommend it if it's not like, because it's so cutesy. But I would recommend it if you just want something cute to watch.
And sometimes you need that in the mix of all the weird
All these crazy intense anime. It's just
all
need
the
a
intense
comfort
anime. Yeah.
you know.
Especially this
Too
season
many
where every
things.
anime is like
After watching Denji like kill like 100 guys with a chainsaw, I was like, I need something.
Okay, but did you feel bad for those zombies when they died?
no.
I did not.
Right, so you don't need like
I needed
that. You're like, okay, cool.
All right, Toby, do you want to mention something you're watching?
So I'll mention one more that I started watching called Reincarnated as a Sword.
What?
So isekais are a thing. So explain.
So isekai basically means like new world, which is its own genre of anime. basically if someone dies and gets reincarnated as something else into a different world, basically what an isekai is. In this case, someone as man, I guess middle-aged man type, like dies from a car crash and then gets reincarnated as like a inanimate object, a sword, in this whole different world. So, and basically
Go on.
so I'll continue. If you ever like watched anime like Sword Art Online or like Shield Hero or anything like that, it has that kind of concept where you go into this world that's like a game. So basically in this game you can like power up on like if there's monsters and stuff, you can defeat them, get higher power on all these, get new skills, all of that. So this sword was just doing this all by himself with no wielder for a while, got really strong. And then what's funny was that it got stuck in the dirt and couldn't leave because it moves all around like on its own, but was stuck in the dirt after defeating one monster, and it was there for a long time because he couldn't leave. So it was just like bored in there and not being able to leave anymore because he was stuck in the dirt. So there's this random occurrence happened where there was this slave girl who was like 12 who was getting abused by the slaver, blah, 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 got attacked by bears just because in this world you can get attacked by bears and goblins and whatnot. So she finds this sword randomly here, and that sword was able to communicate with her and be like, hey, you should pick me up and wield me. So she does, defeats all the monsters and the slavers and that kills all of them, can get violent, and then because of that she was able to use the sword. Now the sword is free, and now they can speak to each other telepathically and be like, hey, let's do things together.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's really cute.
Sentient sword.
This is cute because it's kind of like, it kind of gives you like a father-daughter vibe type relationship where the sword becomes her teacher and teaches her how to do things, and then she appreciates that and all of that, and then she gets stronger and can defeat monsters and stuff like that. This is really cool. I really liked it. I enjoy it. There's 3 episodes out now, and yeah, I want to know where this relationship goes, and yeah.
Awesome.
So-
Yeah, that's fun. Like
Okay.
isekais are a big thing too, and they're all weird, but again,
all
they're
weird.
wholesome. Like
Right, like
Weird.
my background is Jolene from
Jolie.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like
That's awesome.
as
Oh, yeah,
weird as
that's
your
not
anime
weird.
is,
This is-
mine's weirder.
Yeah.
No,
Some of
no,
us
no.
watch JoJo,
Whoa,
right?
whoa. As a JoJo expert, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure ain't that bad. Isekais can go places.
Depends. Like there can be good ones, there could be bad ones, but hey, I love enjoying.
Oh, okay.
and
So
watching.
then that's actually a good point because I think it's a hit and miss for isekais. So I think for a bad anime for Neebs to watch would be a bad isekai.
What is it called? A bad ace guy?
No,
No,
like,
that's not what it's
isekai.
called, but like there are some anime that are just bad. Like, but
In
because they're isekai. So maybe I have to find a bad isekai anime for you to watch.
Why do y'all want me to watch a bad anime? I don't understand.
Because
So
you have
you
to
can
suffer
appreciate
too.
a good one.
you have to suffer what we go through when we
To
try
go
to
with
watch
you.
anime.
Listen,
Otherwise,
I
You'll complain
enjoy
about the good
pizza.
ones, and we'll be like, you don't know anything.
All right, fair.
But yes, I
listen,
do recommend Reincarnated as a Sword. It's cute and I enjoy it. It's only 3 episodes. And the manga has good rep. So
Cool.
Neebs, what were you saying?
So I have an isekai that needs to watch.
Oh.
I looked up the worst isekai ever, and it's actually one that we probably already know the name of.
wait, what are you guys saying though? Is a guy
Isekai.
isekai?
Isekai.
Okay, I was like, is a guy? I was like, I don't know if it's a guy.
It's that time I got reincarnated as slime.
I heard that's really good. So
The thing with isekais is the names are always long.
Yes. So, and they usually have reincarnated sometimes in the name.
They're reincarnated. They've either been hit by a truck and passed out and woke up in another life,
And it's usually like a game of some
There.
sort.
Yeah.
Usually a game of some
Isekais are a wonderful thing.
I've watched some great isekais, and yeah, it's a nice, it's an interesting genre, I would say.
Yeah. All right. Any other? I mean, I'm watching a lot, but I'm not going to go into it too much, so we can talk a little bit about other things. So, like other things, I mean, again, we're watching My Hero Academia season 6, Mob Psycho 100 season 3. That
Mhm.
show is very good. Mob Psycho, like that show, I think it was like 4 years or 3 years since the second season, so that was cool to have that come back.
Mhm.
And then I'm also watching To Your Eternity season 2, which is also it's very intense anime, very like sad. Like
So if you wanna,
so if you want to watch a sad anime, like, that you
Why would
actually want
anyone wanna
tears
watch
to
a
come
sad
down your
anime?
face, like if you actually want to feel something and like cry, I recommend To Your
To Your
Eternity.
Just make sure you're not dead inside.
Yep. It came out last year, I believe, and then second
Yeah.
season just started. So not too long. It has been like 24 episodes out. So
And then I think it just started. Yes, so it just started October 22nd. So it's only had one episode so far,
mhm.
and that's
It's
already
for season 2, but yeah.
for season 2. So that's already
Mhm.
like wow.
Mhm.
Get back into it. Cool.
Yeah.
So not only anime. I mean, all of us watch a lot of TV. So we could go a little bit into what we're watching that is not anime as well.
Mhm.
So
Now you can join a conversation.
I do know one anime. I do watch Attack on Titans. I got a
Yes,
little Attack
yes.
on Titan poster. It's
Hey.
I do know that, so I have a little bit of props for that.
Do you
And
know
it's a
when
big
the
one.
third part of the last season is coming out?
Can't
I have
believe
no
there's 3
idea.
parts.
No
to this.
idea.
Can't
No
believe there's
idea.
3 parts to this. It's just ridiculous. But I
I
guess
know.
they have to do it.
Because when if so the last season started like I think December 2020.
Mhm.
We all expected it to be done
In
but
December.
they only had a part 1.
Yep.
And then they had a part 2 earlier this year. And we thought it was gonna end, but then it didn't end again. So now it's like
No.
it's gonna be a part 3 now. I was like, when is it gonna end? I'm
That's
like,
wow.
I
They
don't
kept saying,
know.
but wait, there's more.
Like, why did you have to call it the final season? Like,
And
you
it's
didn't
gonna be
have
so
to.
long to finish.
No, but I
And
think part of the reasons is that the manga was still going on, so they didn't realize how long. I think that's part of the reason too.
yeah,
They
the
didn't
manga
realize how
just
long.
ended this year, like the manga. So
Mhm.
while the part 2 was airing, I believe. So that's why it's
Mhm.
like,
How different is that show from the manga?
It's so
well,
different at all.
apparently it's very similar. I didn't
I
read
think
the
it's
manga, but it's pretty much
I think it's 100%.
yeah.
Right.
I think
So,
it's
so if people read the manga, they already know what's going to happen.
yeah, they already know the ending.
So
I know
okay.
people who know the ending, and like people would be like, "You're gonna be disappointed," but like, I don't want to be disappointed.
Oh no.
So
I get
yeah,
that.
yeah. But I'm not gonna read the manga until the show's over because I want to be surprised. I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're
Yeah.
so close, you know. Like I
Mhm.
want to be surprised.
So
Okay,
who
so
knows
with
when that's?
that,
I haven't heard anything about part 3 coming out. Nothing.
Yeah.
So
no,
Go ahead,
with
Jeff.
that, when I before season 4 happened, and I read the whole manga too, right?
mhm,
I was disappointed with the manga,
Mhm.
but then when season 4 happened with the anime, I'm like, wait a second, this is the exact same, but I like this. So
Oh,
even if
I
people are
see.
like, no, it's gonna be bad, don't trust it.
okay.
Okay, then that's good to hear. Then, yeah.
Cool.
So you know what happens. Okay.
Yes, and I will spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Like that's like an anime. If I get spoiled, I would be so mad because like I
Yeah.
started watching this anime day 1. I'm not even joking. Day
Joking,
1,
yeah.
like the day it premiered, I started watching this anime.
Not really. Me like a week.
Like in
Couple weeks
2013.
after it
Yeah,
premiered,
like
but it came
like,
out. We were watching it. Like we were
as
caught
it-
up with the first season, then continued on.
yes,
And it will be 10 years. Next year would be the 10-year anniversary of the anime.
I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
I was a different person, and now I'm a different person now.
2013, I was just in high school.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
All right. So another big show that just ended yesterday for us
Literally,
is
yeah.
House of the Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That show, that was crazy. I can't wait to hear your review, Salaam Nerds, when you do that, because I've been listening to that. But
That's
yeah,
gonna be fun.
That was we're big Game of Thrones fans too. Back in the day, I don't know why that feels like it's an old thing now.
I know.
Game of
Back
Thrones
in my
came out-
day, we had Game of Thrones.
Game of
and the-
Thrones, I know. Game of Thrones came out 2011, so
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
and it
I didn't
ended
start watching till
2019.
2014 though.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we like started in the middle
Ish.
and
Yeah.
finished 2019.
Regardless.
Oh,
Horrible
gotcha.
ending, my opinion.
The ending was I didn't think House of the Dragon was going to do as well as it's doing,
but it did
because
so
of
well because
yeah,
of that. Yeah.
because of the way it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. I didn't think, but it's like 10 million viewers like opening. I was like, whoa, people forgot. people
Even-
forgot.
Right.
I think they
Like-
were hopeful because they still enjoyed the show, even though the
Right.
ending was bad. So they're like
Yeah.
hoping for something good again. So
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
different showrunners.
Yeah.
And
I like
it's
it. I
based
love it.
on like and it's adapted on something that's like completed.
Done
So
and
I think
finished.
that's
Yeah.
You know what I think is
But-
really helping this show is that a
Mhm.
lot of women have taken the lead as producers, writers,
Exactly.
and directors. And it's
Mhm.
like less like gore just for the sake of being gory, and they're only showing it
Mhm.
when it like really matters.
Mhm.
And I really like that. I think they
Too.
toned down the gratuitous violence, the gratuitous sexual stuff,
definitely.
and right,
They
they toned
did
it
they
down,
definitely toned
but
it
they
down.
still have it. They
They
still
still
have it.
have it.
It's just
but
not shown as much,
Yeah.
right? So, and I feel like it is better. It's like it's more substance now, which I
Mhm.
like.
I
do
definitely
enjoy that.
agree with
too.
that. And and they show something like childbirth. I don't think they even did they even
Yeah.
have that in Game of Thrones? I don't even recall.
No,
I don't
no.
think
Like,
I
at
even
all.
recall child like this whole season had so much childbirth
Yeah,
that like were traumatizing.
yeah.
It was
yeah.
And I
great.
like that they show that because
And I
now
loved it.
men can like actually see what happens when someone's like you shouldn't force anyone to go through that, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
really good.
there's just also dragons, a lot of dragons now.
there's
I
a
mean, like we
villain.
had
Lots
dragons in
of
Game of
dragons.
Thrones, but they were just like little and like this is
Yeah, like
and then
because
two
in
of
Game
them
of Thrones,
died
all
in
the
the last
dragons were
season.
supposedly like gone, except for the one that Daenerys had. But I like how in
Yeah.
this show there's so many dragons that they're just like there. And
That's nice
Mhm.
too. It's nice to see all that.
Mhm.
The House of Dragons is good, but you have to wait 2 years for the next season
Yes.
after
That's
they ended
wild.
the way
After
they
how
left
they
it
ended,
off. Just when things are about to basically season 1 was basically like a prologue to me. Basically,
like a-
honestly, season 1 was
Yeah.
like a prologue.
Mhm.
to
Just like
the
Rings of
actual-
Power.
Exactly.
All
Oh,
I want to
really?
say, is whatever Rhaenyra does now, I support her rights and I support her wrongs.
Yes,
I literally,
everybody's
like,
saying like we will
they are
support
both-
Rhaenyra whatever she does.
I
Like,
support Rhaenyra. I don't even like care. Like she's not perfect too, but she's
Mhm.
at least she's still better than the.
she's the better.
yeah.
She's like the best ruler out of anyone else who could be rulers in this
Yeah.
currently. Yeah.
As
Mhm.
Queen or Princess Rainey said, she's the only one holding the realm together by showing restraint.
Basically,
Yes.
everyone wanted to start already,
And
then they were
she's the
holding back.
queen that held
Mhm.
it together. So
She was like,
Exactly.
"Don't start none, won't be none."
Um,
and it's literally it's just family drama. Like
Yeah.
Quite
it's
literally,
only
yeah.
family drama. There's nothing like literally like worth the war. It's literally just family drama.
That's so funny. Yeah, the whole thing is
And
family drama.
I hate that. And the whole rub has to suffer because of family drama. And the patriarchy, I guess, because people
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
stand like a woman. There's literally no reason to be against it except for that you hate women. That's all.
Yeah. Someone in the comments said this in one of our shows, and they said like people like men like these, they are attracted to women, but they don't like women. And I was
Exactly.
like, when
It's
someone said that, I was like,
true.
oh shit,
It's
that makes a lot
true.
of sense.
Mhm.
That's deep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't remember who said that, but I saw that and I was like,
That was,
whoa, that
Tia.
explains a lot. Yes, Auntie Tia.
Honestly, it's really that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's
I
good.
think
Other
she-
things that we're watching, like I recently just like finished Rami season 3 that just came out. Like I think
Yeah,
end
we've
of
been desperately
September.
trying to do an episode on Rami,
About
but we
Rami.
want to get like the right people in the room because I have thoughts about it, but I don't want to
Mhm.
speak over Egyptians or Palestinians because that's a big
great.
part of that
It's
show.
it's a heavy show.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
heavy show, but there's a lot of problematic stuff about there.
Yeah.
There's also some good stuff, and I
Mhm.
want to have a very even and biased conversation.
There's some
But,
hilarious stuff too.
There's some
The
definitely some
comedy.
hilarious stuff. There's some definitely hilarious stuff.
Comedy. That song about
Yo,
there's
my God.
always a third.
Halal Brothers. Always a third.
Oh, brother. That
Yeah,
was
but that song, I'm not gonna
that
lie,
was
it's kind of a bop. It's kind of a
It's a
bop.
bop.
it bopped
It's a
though.
bop.
That's the problem. Okay, everyone should look up the song after this. Even like you don't need to watch it, but look up the
You
song.
even don't want to watch Rami. Just look. Just watch
Go
the
to
song.
go to
The
my
song.
TikTok. It's like the
Watch
third
Rami to
video.
know what this is.
No, like go to.
Exactly.
You can even go to Rami's like social media. I think they posted it.
Yeah.
Instagram has it. Just watch the video and be happy. and
Always a
on the
third.
beat.
Apparently, the two people who sang it are like a real R&B group. They're like real
Oh.
Canadian R&B group. They're
Oh,
popular.
nice.
Yeah.
Just watch that. If you don't want to watch Rami at all, but want to know like just see something funny, just watch that video.
That was literally the funniest scene in the
That's it.
entire season. It was so
That
funny.
whole episode was so cringe and so
Yeah.
funny at the same time. It's just that episode.
For the people that don't know, that episode is basically takes place at a Muslim convention, so similar to Ikna or Isna.
Yes. And it was just
it's just so funny.
It's so funny.
in Insta Zakat app.
It's just a god. You know those exist, right? They're
Those
gonna-
exist,
do.
yeah.
Like it's
It's
not
an
even that
artist
far
thing.
off.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
I mean, I think they even showed the virtual reality. You know, like the virtual reality houses or
Yeah.
something like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like using Bitcoin technology or what's that thing called, Jazz? What Bitcoin is based off of?
Blockchain.
Blockchain.
Yeah.
Using blockchain
Blockchain
technology. You can give your zakat.
It just came to me like because I knew what it would be.
And then it was like the Zamzam water with electrolytes. I was like, what are you doing?
it's
leave the
it's
Zamzam
alkaline
water
Zamzam
alone.
water.
Leave it alone.
So basically, Rami is
The
a
o-
comedy, but it's also like a dark comedy. So it's just weird. It's just a weird show.
I think
Weird
if you
show.
want to enjoy Rami, you have to think of it as a BoJack Horseman for
Ugh.
Muslims.
Oh, I've heard that analogy, and I think that
Yeah.
was
BoJack Horseman for Muslims.
That's
I
what it is.
barely got through BoJack.
Yeah, yeah. That's basically what it is. Like Rami is this very unlikable character who makes these bad decisions over and over again, and still
Terrible.
thinks of himself as a good person when he's obviously
Terrible.
doing
No, he
something bad.
doesn't think of himself as a good person anymore.
Not now. He's
Not
trying to
anymore.
be good.
But
It's
After,
just
not
like-
not after what he did at Tuesday. No, we'll never forgive him. Never.
No, after that.
mm-mm.
I didn't watch it. I tried watching like one episode and I was like, this guy is just, and I didn't know how to put it in words until someone told me, and they were like, Rami is just a guy that wants to make himself look good, but he's just an all-around bad person. He
Mhm.
makes himself unlikable. And I was like, that's why I don't like it.
Mhm.
But hearing BoJack Horseman for Muslims hits differently.
Right?
BoJack, I got to season 3.
Mm.
Okay, I don't know, Toby and Twain, I don't know if y'all watched BoJack.
I've never
It's a
watched
thing
it.
about a boat.
Go ahead and talk about it. Like you can.
Okay,
Uh,
do you know what happened with the boat, Neebs?
I know what happened
BoJack?
with the boat. Yeah.
yeah.
So okay,
I
so
don't know
y'all,
anything.
he had this friend from like I'll just say his 20s or whatever. BoJack did, and he ends up reconnecting with her. Like he ends up driving out to see her, thinking he can rekindle some kind of love or whatever, because he's going through whatever existential crisis that he is at the time. And she has a family, and he hangs out with her daughter, who was a teenager at the time, and they're hanging out, and he gets them drunk or whatever. He's just a bad influence.
Mhm.
So fast forward, they're back at their house, and BoJack has bought a boat for some strange and godly reason. So his boat is parked at these people's house, and so he's at the boat, and the lady that he goes to visit is in her backyard, and she's walking into her house, and she sees this little light thing fly past the boat, and she starts hearing laughter because her and her daughter gets into an argument, and she goes into the boat. Oh my God. This is giving me flashbacks. She goes to the boat and sees her daughter trying to hook up with BoJack, but BoJack isn't doing anything to stop it. He's just laying there.
What?
Mhm.
And she basically goes off on BoJack and was like, "If I ever catch you near my family again, I'll kill you." Rightfully so.
Rightfully.
So BoJack is hooking up with this whale, some other animal.
What?
And I'm not.
They're all animals on this show. Everyone's
They're
an
all
animal.
animals. So BoJack's hooking up with this other animal, and she says something about a boat. And you as the viewer are like, "Oh God." But it's even worse because BoJack stops what he's doing and he's like, "Why did you have to bring up the boat?" And the worst part about this is the person he's hooking up with is a journalist.
Okay.
So she's recording everything. So it's giving
what
me
is the
anxiety.
situation?
So hearing BoJack for Muslims is making me have anxiety. Like, y'all are watching this. I wouldn't be able to get past season 1.
But Rami is exactly like that. Like, he puts himself in these situations where he does horrible things to his friends, to the people he loves.
I know he treats his
he
friends bad
justifies
too.
He justifies
BoJack.
it in his head. It really is what it is. And
especially
I think
in like the latest season. Yeah, sorry.
and he doesn't think of himself as a bad person because he's selfish, and he's not just selfish in like the things he does in his action, but he's also selfish in the image that he has for himself, because he always gives himself a pass even though he's doing these terrible things. And it's a very like the thing about the show is that it would work if we had more representation. If we had tons of Muslim shows out there, then one show showing a really poor representation of Muslim wouldn't be that bad. He's a very like nihilistic and very like, you know, someone who just makes bad decisions. But we don't have much out there. So for this to be showcased and win Emmys and win awards, it's weird. It's weird. It makes me feel a certain type of way.
But the thing is that there's also a lot of great characters too in the show, and they have their own like episodes and they have their own journeys too.
Yeah,
like his other family members. So like
there are episodes without Rami in it. So you can watch those episodes that don't feature Rami.
Those are usually the best episodes.
Those are the best episodes. Yeah.
So my question, and I guess to kind of wrap this up, is because I know Rami is like this weird representation. Now that we have Mo, I haven't seen it, but I want to see it.
I do want to see Mo. Yeah.
Mo a better
better.
representation.
It's much better.
Okay, good. And didn't Rami also work on that show too?
Yeah, Rami also worked on.
He's a writer on the show, and the thing is, it's really funny because we had a Palestinian woman from Houston come on our podcast, and she watches both Rami and like she dislikes Rami a lot, but she really really loved Mo. But she also said like I can tell whenever Rami has an influence in a scene. Like whenever she sees a scene, she's like, I bet Rami wrote that.
By the way, I think Rami as like a writer is like a genius writer. That's my opinion, because some of these shows episodes would just be crazy and like how
and it's weird too because it's also a comedy. So I like comedy. So the way to tie in a comedy, like it can be dark too. It just I know it kind of makes it better a little bit too. Like this thing about like I don't even know if I should mention it, but anyway, but like
one of my favorite
there's
parts
always comedy in it too.
One of my favorite comedy parts was when they mentioned halal yoga, and they're like, you know what? Why don't you just have men in the front and in the back? Like
exactly.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, that makes so much sense.
So much sense.
Why don't we do that in yoga? Just have the men in the front, women in the back. Like it'll make people so much comfortable.
Like exactly, like things like that. They just work. I don't know.
Those things.
Anyway. Right. Anything else to mention quickly, or we could wrap it up too. We've been talking a lot, but this was great talking to you all.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, like we definitely should do more episodes together and stuff in the future. Glad that you guys met at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, so much fun.
Like, we all watch a lot of TV, like
and
TV and anime at the same time. So it was just like I listen to your podcast a lot, and then also like and then
Look forward to hearing more of you guys' episodes and later this week.
Yeah, right back at you guys.
Looking forward to those.
This week's gonna be fun.
Oh gosh, it is.
Tomorrow night. Oh my god.
We'll see each other in the future con. That'd be nice.
Yes.
All right, can you please tell the listeners where to find Salaam Nerds? And
sure. So Salaam Nerds is basically everywhere on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and then you can find me at Watch with Neebz. So on Salaam Nerds, we basically post episodes from the show. On TikTok, I usually have takes, show my reaction to videos, clips, and sometimes call out misogynistic people.
Great.
Awesome. All right. And that's it. Have a good rest of your day and week. See you next time.
Thanks,
See y'all
guys.
next time. Take care.
Peace.